So ultimately, your life's purpose boils down to the question of what kind of experiences do you want to have in your life, and what kind of emotions do you want to feel. And the rest is working through self-limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and cultivating a strong sense of self-belief and confidence and courage to take actions towards having those experiences, and learning how to cultivate those emotions within yourself, even when external circumstances are not as ideal as you're hoping they are. Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. So today, let's address this big question: how to find your life's purpose. I must share with you guys my story, and hopefully it can bring some guidance to you or some inspirations. I first started asking myself this question when I started my master's studies, because I was debating whether I want to go on to get a PhD or if I should just graduate from my master's and just work instead. Yeah, and so I first started asking myself, where do I want to devote my energy and time and effort in? And I soon, very quickly, I realized that I'm not the kind of person who would want to do things or devote my time and effort towards something that I don't find meaning in it. I just can't. I don't want to half-ass anything, and if I don't like something, it's just really hard for me to commit to it, because I know that working is probably gonna be 80% of my life, right? Because I'm a pretty driven individual and I like to be productive, so I know that 80% of my life is probably gonna be like me working in certain areas of my life, and I really want to become an expert in a certain area. And so this question was really important for me to figure out, because without knowing where my life purpose is, or without having like a big direction, I would feel really lost, and I would assume that most people are like me. Also, since I know that 80% of my life I'm gonna be working on something, then this thing needs to be enjoyable and pleasant for me. I don't want to be suffering 80% of my life because I only have one life, right? I want to make this life my best life, obviously, and I want to create as much happy experiences for me as possible. And the way I see having a life's purpose, it's like having a treasure map, and your life purpose, it would be like the cross, the end goal on the map. Yeah, and obviously you're gonna experience a lot of fun and you're gonna find treasure along the way, but the end goal is that cross on the map. That's how I mentally perceive this. But how do we start figuring out what we want to experience, like what ultimate experiences we want to have? For me, I started with checking in with my ego, because I feel like even though a lot of people, especially like people in the spiritual community, including myself, always say that, oh, don't seek experiences just because you want to satisfy your ego or just out of egotistical reasons, I still think that's 100% valid. But in this case, I think your ego is a great indicator for you to see what kind of experiences you want to have. So for me, when I ask myself that question, like what kind of experiences do you want to have, and what life would you want to live if you can strip away all of your realistic constraints? Because when you're figuring out your life's purpose, you really want to get rid of your current external constraints. Your current constraints do not define your future circumstances, and you really don't want to limit yourself by your current circumstances, because it just doesn't make sense to do so. Like I mentioned in my last video, obstacles and challenges are literally constructs that we create in our mind. Like they're just problems, but once you can find a solution to solve them, they're no longer there. So don't let external obstacles or challenges hold you back from obtaining your desires, okay? Yeah, you only have one life, and you better make this life your best life. Once you get to the end of your life, you don't want to be looking back and regretting not taking actions and not creating those experiences that you seek in life. You know, like it would just feel so sad. Anyways, okay, so when I ask myself that question, like what kind of life do you want to live if you can get one wish granted to you? Like what kind of life do you want to live? My answer to that initially was, I want to live a life like Iron Man in the Avengers. I want to be like Iron Man. And then I asked myself, like, why do you want to be Iron Man? I realized that I really enjoy attention. Like I like to be popular. I want to be in the center of attention. Like I like popularity. I want fame. I want to be famous. And also I want my fame to come from the fact that I am contributing a lot to the society like Iron Man did. And so I realized that I really want to be very popular and well known in the society because of my contributions, because of my big impact onto the society. And I want to have a lot of money. I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. I want to be able to take care of those I love, those are around me. At first glance, these desires might be very egotistical, because fame, abundance, expertise, or like prestige expertise, I guess, and stuff, they might seem very egotistical. But once I started reflecting more into it, I realized that these desires are there for a reason. Like you wouldn't have certain desires if you're not meant to pursue them. So your ego can help you identify the final manifestations of your desires, I guess, like the emotions and experiences you want to experience. And then you can start asking the deeper question. Like for me, I started asking myself, what kind of impact do you want to bring to the society? Although I really like money, like I really want to be wealthy, for me, a more desirable thing is to be recognized by the society and just be deemed as someone who has a great contribution to the society. Like growing up, my idols, I guess, my role models have always been Martin Luther King and RBG, like those people who literally change society, and I want to be like them. And there's no shame of going after your desires and wanting to become the greatest figure of your age or something. Honestly, I deeply believe that all of us should dream big and really go after our goals and dreams, because just think about how much better our society would be if the majority of the society are self-actualizing and are going after their desires. Because first of all, if you're pursuing something that you're truly passionate about, you're definitely going to spend more time and effort in this thing, right? And you're gonna have more devotion towards it, which means that there's a higher chance of you making certain breakthroughs or innovations. Because if you truly like it and you spend the majority of your time thinking about it, your brain's naturally gonna synthesize all of the information and knowledge you have in your brain to think of a creative solution or like innovation in a certain area. And also, when you are absorbing new information, you're gonna naturally want to apply those information onto whatever you're interested in, and it just yields a higher likelihood of you bringing more innovation to the society. And also, you're gonna feel so good, you're gonna feel super emotionally fulfilled. When you're in that state of mind, when you're in that high vibe state, your energy is gonna affect those around you. You're gonna show people around you that it is possible to self-actualize and to fulfill your dreams, and then you're gonna create a ripple effect. And this literally has been the reason why I started doing YouTube and writing my blog, is because I genuinely believe that everybody has the potential to self-actualize. It's just a lot of our self-limiting beliefs are holding us back. But it's not that hard to work through those self-limiting beliefs. I've done that, and I know that although it's not pleasant, like the experience itself is not pleasant, and like the process is probably not pleasant, because you really have to embody a lot of the negative emotions in order to heal them, but the results are always very worthwhile. And every time I heal myself, like internally, every time I feel like I went through an internal upgrade, I always see it reflect on my outer reality in a tangible sense. And this is why people always think that I'm super lucky, like opportunities just fall into my lap. It's not because I'm just naturally lucky, it's because I've done a lot of inner work. For example, if I want something, my usual approach is to think about what kind of person would get that opportunity and literally becoming that person. Once I become that person, then obviously I deserve to have that opportunity. So the best way to obtain all of your desires is literally to become your best ideal self. And this is why I always say that heal yourself. Like, use your external reality as a feedback from the universe to see what you still need to heal, what you still can improve on, and then do that to move closer to your desires. When you're following your heart, when you're truly living in alignment with your highest self, aka the self that have already obtained all of your desires, that version of yourself, if you're truly living in alignment with this version of yourself or on the path to becoming this person, the universe is going to reward you for it. Like, things will just flow so easily into your life. And if your life is not currently at that stage, then it's really the universe's way of saying that, hey, maybe you should step back and look at what you're currently going after. Reflect on why you're chasing whatever goal you're chasing right now, and see if that's truly in alignment with what you want. Because sometimes we can hold on to things out of not believing in ourselves. So how I usually see if I am in the right place, on the right path, is to check in with myself and see if I'm feeling a sense of emotional fulfillment in the current environment. For example, this is actually my first time talking about this. So after my master's study, I got accepted into the PhD program at my school, and it's a really great program. It's like a very good opportunity, but I just wasn't feeling emotionally fulfilled for some reason. Like, I was just feeling very bleh. Because after reflecting on the Ironman situation, I realized that I do want to get a PhD because I want to be an expert in an area, and I do want to get a PhD in economics, because economics is literally the language among policymakers. And when you want to instigate a policy change, usually you need to consider the economics behind it and how the market would react to it and how agents or people would react to it and blah blah blah. And the more I study economics, the more I find it fascinating and the more I find it useful. At least right now, I really feel like economics is aligned with my life's purpose, like what I want to experience in this life. So after that reflection, I knew that I wanted to do a PhD in economics. But when I got the offer from our school, I wasn't feeling emotionally fulfilled. I knew intuitively that this is probably not the option for me because I wasn't feeling emotionally fulfilled, but I didn't know why. Like, I had no idea why, but I trusted my intuition, and I made a leap of faith toward a direction that I felt like at that time was the right direction for me. And I didn't know why or what it would bring to me, but now I know. So I decided to not attend the program and take a gap year and then reapply to different programs. So this comes to the ego part. Ever since I was a kid, I've always really wanted to go to an Ivy League school. And I don't know if kids also have big egos, but maybe I do. I do have a big ego because I'm really competitive and all that stuff. But my ego is what's driving me forward. And that's why I really don't think that you should get rid of your ego once and for all. I really do think that you should balance your ego and your spiritual needs, because the ego protects us and pushes us forward towards the direction that we want to go. And so even though a lot of people, even including my mom, was like, you really shouldn't let go of an opportunity that's super good just because you want to go to a better school. In my case, I decided that I wanted to do a PhD after the typical PhD application cycle, and so I've only had the opportunity to apply to the program at our school. I did not even apply to any other school. I only applied to one school, and I just thought to myself, there's nothing wrong to want the best for myself. At least I don't want to deny myself any opportunities. And so I made that leap of faith, and it wasn't an easy decision for me because I already accepted the offer at my school at first, but not only was the decision kind of rushed, but also I feel like I kind of let other people's expectations of me affected my decision-making process. But it taught me a huge lesson in making my own decisions, and that all decisions have consequences and really have to consider the consequences before making decisions. So basically I accepted the offer from our school first, and then I decided to not wanting to do it afterwards. And so like I had to tell all of my professors and advisors about my decision, and obviously not all of them would be happy about it because I basically created more inconveniences for other people just because of my own needs and wants. And I also went through a phase of having a lot of doubt in this decision, but because I truly believe that we all deserve to self-actualize and we all deserve to go for whatever make us feel emotionally fulfilled, I had to make that decision, because if I don't even live by my belief system, how am I supposed to show other people that, hey, you can self-actualize too, you can go for whatever fulfills your heart regardless of your external circumstances? Honestly, now it's been 4 months after that decision, I think, like 3 to 4 months, and the amount of growth I've been through is crazy. And I would have never went through all of those growth and introspection and reflection had I not made that decision. And this is why cultivating a strong self-belief is super important, because no one is going to know if you can make it or not, because whether you can make it or not depends on your effort and your actions and your decisions, right? And for me, because I truly genuinely believed in myself, I stumbled across a seminar opportunity at Stanford, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna go because I just deserve to be there. And I went, and it turned out to be a great decision and a great experience because I got the opportunity to meet a lot of top faculty members, and I even got the contact info from 2 professors. And even though they can't give me any direct help, like they can't be like, hey, let me just write you a letter and like just guarantee you a spot in top programs, even though they can't do that, at least I gained a lot of confidence by just attending, and I gained a lot of valuable information and perspective shifts on the field of economics, which is super valuable in my opinion. And because I started manifesting getting my PhD education at Ivy League schools, like just prestigious institutions, I really had to question myself why I want to be a researcher and what kind of research ideas do I want to bring to the table, what kind of research questions am I asking. And then I came to a realization that a PhD from any institution honestly does not automatically make you a successful economist or a successful researcher. It's your actions and your attitudes and what you have inside. Even though a PhD education can prepare you and like can teach you all of the technical stuff, at the end of the day, you're the person who are learning those things. And so for that reason, I started taking a very active role in learning economics, including reading a lot of research paper, reading books, and then really thinking about the kind of problems I want to solve and the kind of questions that I want to address. And it brought me so much insight. And now I am at the point where it doesn't really matter if I get accepted into top programs or not. I am currently at a point where I am so confident in my research ideas and in my ability to generate research ideas and to carry out research ideas because I've been accumulating a lot of knowledge on my own. And so yeah, I'm at the point where because of this confidence, I don't really care. Like it doesn't really matter which school I end up going to, because I know I am going to become a successful economist. I know that I'm gonna do great research because I know that I have the ability, and I know I have the motivation to conquer obstacles and to learn, and I know I have the perseverance to learn and absorb knowledge. And these inner strength, like the growth in my internal states in this inner strength, is literally so much more valuable than just book knowledge, like textbook knowledge. If on the contrary, I never believed in myself and my ability to go for what I want, I would have never made the decision to not attend the program at my school, and I would have never went on this little quest of really empowering myself and cultivating this inner self-belief and resilience within myself to go for what I want. And I honestly think that this is so worth it. But it's really super normal to feel discouraged sometimes and challenged by the feedback of the universe when you're self-actualizing or when you're going after your life's purpose, because this is how the universe communicates to you that maybe you should pause for a sec and reflect on the path you're going right now and recalibrate this path towards that X mark on your treasure map, if that makes sense. For example, for my YouTube video, you can see that my YouTube videos, like the quality of my YouTube videos, like the angles and the lightings are becoming better as I make more videos. So I would see the number of views on my videos and how many subscribers I've gained and blah blah, like all of those tangible stats and material manifestations, I guess, as a form of feedback from the universe and as a way for me to see what else I can improve on, if that makes sense. And also you can tell, like at the beginning of my YouTube journey, I was talking about manifestations and the law of attraction, blah blah, and now I'm talking about how you can find your life's purpose and sharing my own example and my own life, personal life, to my audience. And this is because, like, after I think 2 videos on manifestations, I felt I didn't feel emotionally fulfilled by talking about that anymore. Just remember that along your path, always ask yourself if you're feeling emotionally fulfilled, because that's the point of life. Like, that's literally the point of you living. You're seeking your goals and you're seeking all those material accomplishments because you want to find happiness and fulfillment. You're not chasing those goals just so you can feel sad in your little room, you know? If the ultimate end goal on a very general scale is to feel emotionally fulfilled and happy, then try to cultivate those experiences and those emotions on a daily basis, because you don't want to wait till a certain point to feel those emotions. Plus, it's not going to happen automatically. The ability to cultivate those emotions always lies within you and not coming from your external reality, because if you're not feeling happy within yourself, no matter what's going on the outside, you're not going to feel emotionally fulfilled. In my case, I've always thought that having a PhD offer would make me automatically fulfilled emotionally, but it did not. And now I'm feeling really emotionally fulfilled because I know the direction of my life. I know what kind of experience I want to create for myself. And I know that my external circumstances have no power over whether I feel this emotional fulfillment or not. And so I'm in a very secure place. And when you're in that state, you just naturally attract things that are aligned with you, opportunities that are aligned with you, and meeting people that are aligned with you. If you are not coming from a place of genuinely believing in yourself, you're not going to take the same actions, you're not going to make the same decisions, and when you're interacting with people, you're not going to exude the same kind of energy, and you're not going to talk the same topics, and obviously the end results are not going to be the same compared to if you're actually operating from a place of genuinely, truly believing in yourself. And also, if you're operating from a place of genuinely believing in yourself, then when you run into obstacles, you wouldn't feel like, oh damn, sad, I can't make it because I just can't, like I don't have the ability. But instead you would be like, okay, I got this, I can figure out a way. Because honestly, a friend of mine actually said that the number of solutions always exceeds the number of problems that are existing on this world. Like, I totally agree with him, but he said it in Chinese, so maybe my translation is not that good. But yeah, you guys get what I mean, right? For example, getting into those prestigious top programs are hard. Everybody, including the faculty members at those top programs, everybody told me that, hey, you need connections because you want someone the admission committee can recognize. You want someone who has that name and popularity, I guess. Like, you just need connections to get in. But how I approached it was to literally hone in my skill sets as an economist in training and just like hella utilize my cognitive ability and effort and energy on thinking about economics problem and utilizing all available resources to me. For example, at my school, they have a math camp, and even though I knew that I wasn't going to attend the program, I still attended the math camp and I watched the lectures because I knew that once the knowledge is mine, like once I learn this knowledge, it's mine forever, right? And now I am preparing literally a research proposal for my application. I'm literally going to email the professors that I really want to work with at my dream program and be like, hey, I am applying this year and this is my research proposal. I'm very dedicated and I'm very devoted in learning from you or learning economics in order to bring this impact onto this world. And I am not going to sugarcoat anything in my application because first of all, I truly genuinely believe that I deserve to have a spot because I truly genuinely believe that I'm the kind of person they're looking for. And secondly, I have full confidence in my ability and my skills at this stage, before getting a PhD. Because obviously, if I've already had the skill set as a well-educated researcher, then there's no point for me to attend a 4 to 6 year program to learn, right? So at this stage, I'm really confident and I know that my heart is in the right place. Because I know my heart is in the right place, obviously, I know that my actions and my thoughts, my ideas are going to be coming from the right place too, because my heart is in the right place, you know? And if after all of that effort and hard work and me improving myself, I still ended up not having the opportunity to attend those programs, then it's okay, because after all, I've become a much better version of myself, and that's all that matters. Now I don't let those external titles define who I am or my worth, my value. I used to though. I used to feel like once I become a student at Stanford, for example, then I would be hella worthy and I would feel enough. But that's not the case, because once you get accepted, you still need to hella work in order to be like the top student. And once you like graduate from that program, you still need to hella work in order to be the top researcher. It's just a never-ending competition. And so I decided to not let those external titles or external circumstances define my worth and my value. Because if you don't feel worthy enough, you don't feel valuable enough, you're not gonna pursue the same opportunities. I don't want to be like repeating myself all the time. So yes, just remember that you don't want to be operating from a place of you're not worthy, you're lacking the value, because you're not. You're valuable. Literally, the only thing that you need to do is to get rid of all of those self-limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And by doing that, you're gonna cultivate the strength, the willpower, determination, all of those really powerful virtues within yourself to go after your desires. And once you can do that, it's just a matter of time when you're gonna become who you want to become. And it's just a matter of time when you're gonna obtain all of your desires. I hope you guys can spend some time to figure out what you want to experience in life. Before we end today's video, I feel like I want to summarize it one more time. So in order to find your life's purpose, just ask yourself what kind of experiences you want to have in this life. And you can start with your egotistical desires and dive deeper into the core reason, like why you want to experience those experiences. And once you've identified that, the rest is literally cultivating a strong sense of self-belief and working through all of your self-limiting belief systems and your fears. And trust me, once you embark on this journey, those self-limiting beliefs and fears are going to be brought to your attention for you to work through it. And you just have to have the courage to face them and to have the resilience to go through those uncomfortable experiences, and always striving for the best version of yourself and always seeking for the best for yourself, because you deserve it, okay? You deserve it. Yeah. And don't forget that ultimately you just want to feel happy and fulfilled in life. You can do that in your everyday life, like cultivate that in your everyday life. I think I might do a video on how to do that, because this is a recent lesson for me. Don't delay your happiness, because you deserve to feel happy and fulfilled in life, and you want to feel them most of the time. Like you don't want to wait till 80 years old to feel them, and it's not going to happen automatically, okay? You have to cultivate that eventually regardless. So yes, that is all for today's video. I really hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye. Mwah. And okay, and also bruh 什么来着? And fuck, I'm so it's okay, it takes practice. A 藏宝图怎么说? 藏宝图藏宝图 in English. Oh, treasure map. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. Bruh, why am I so bad at this? Okay, I'm not. And a dragonfly just flew over. But and that's all for today's video. I really hope that by sharing my own story and be more personal on this channel can give you guys more insight and can help you guys navigate through life. Yeah, let me know if you guys like this kind of format, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment down below. If you like this video, if you find this video helpful and inspiring and encouraging, please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel. And yeah.